Seahawks Day coming up in just a few moments from right now. Before we do that, though, got a little challenge to get today's show started. Somebody recently set the record for comments on a single video for 2023 with 41 comments. And I think that somebody can break that record today. So I'm going to put the challenge out there to all the 12s. Let's see if you can break the single video comment record for 2023, if you can put out 41 or 42 or more comments on today's show to take part in the Chat Sports Challenge. If you win, I'm going to shout you out in the show later this week. Let's get started. It is Seahawks Today by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Happy to have you with us. On today's show, the latest Seattle Seahawks news and rumors as we are talking draft, potentially trading back. Also, some coaching staff changes could be on the way for Seattle in 2023. Let's begin today talking about the draft idea. The folks at The Athletic in their mock draft suggested the possibility that the Seahawks could trade back from the number 5 overall pick. That, of course, is the pick from the Denver Broncos. Seattle still has the pick at number 20. And this is going to be something that's going to be talked about, I imagine, for quite some time until there is or isn't a trade, obviously. Now let me say this. I'm not opposed to the idea of potentially trading back because, as you'll see here in a second, there's a lot you could potentially gain with trading back. But at the same time, though, there's something about the strength of having a top 5 pick, especially in a year where the Seahawks did so well, made the postseason, and to still get a top 5 pick, that comes at a position of strength of some sorts. And I like the talent in particular in that top 5. So here's the idea The Athletic threw out there. The Seahawks give up the number 5 pick to Carolina. They move down to 9, and they get an additional third-round pick this year, and then a first-round pick next year in 2024. So that's quite a lot, actually. And you still could get a very talented player. We'll tell you in particular who The Athletic likes for Seattle for that spot. But now you have my attention. If that's what Seattle could get, that might be a move worth making. What say you? Let me know in the comments section. You might get an ad break. If so, take advantage of it and get your votes in. Should Seattle trade back from number 5 overall? Should they take advantage of an opportunity potentially like that? What do you think? Type Y for yes, type in for no. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments section below if you like the idea of Seattle trading back from 5. So if the Seahawks were to trade back and move into the 9 spot, The Athletic has the Seahawks then taking Texas Tech edge rusher Tyree Wilson at that spot. And I've seen some mock drafts that have Seattle potentially even taking him at number 5. So if you can still get him at 9, then all of a sudden you're feeling pretty good. Let's get you a little more inside access on Tyree Wilson. First team All-American and All-Big 12 performer in 2022. Mel Kiper has him as the number 11 overall player in this year's draft and the number 3 edge rusher. The numbers this past year for the Red Raiders, Tyree Wilson had 61 tackles, 7 sacks, 1 forced fumble, and 1 fumble recovery. And to tell you more about him, the evaluation, according to Mel, this is what Mel had to say. Wilson has been a consistent menace off the edge. I love hearing that word menace. I think of Dennis the Menace, the old TV show. Off the edge for the Red Raiders. He has 7 sacks and 15 total tackles for loss, showing explosion at the snap as a pass rusher and taking on blockers and holding his ground in the run game. So, more on that. Listen to this. For edge rushers, it's all about physical traits and tools. And the 6'6" Wilson has everything teams want in that regard. He has a high ceiling. I like everything I heard right there about Tyree Wilson from Mel Kiper Jr. That should get you excited. So in that case, in that situation, if a guy like Tyree Wilson is still available at 9, and then I'm going to get an extra third-round pick, and I'm going to get an extra first-round pick next year, let's do it. Sign me up. So What about Tyree Wilson, though? So let's just start there. Get your votes in. Do you like the idea of drafting Tyree Wilson, the edge rusher out of Texas Tech, for this Seattle team? Is he a guy you could potentially want? If so, type D for draft. If not, type P for pass. Let me know in the comment section. Do you want to see Tyree Wilson in a Seahawks uniform in 2023? Let me know. Today's show is presented by BetUS, the exclusive sportsbook partner of Chat Sports. If you go to chatsports.com/bet, enter the promo code Seahawks125, you'll get a 125% deposit bonus and the updated Super Bowl odds. How about them Cowboys? They're out of here. We're down to 4 teams: Philadelphia, Kansas City, Cincinnati, and San Francisco. And it's all pretty tight, according to the odds makers. Philadelphia, a slight favorite to win it all right now at plus 260. Kansas City and Cincinnati at plus 265. San Fran at plus 300. So whoever you like of those 4, you got an opportunity to make money on. Get your bets in now. Chatsports.com/bet. Promo code Seahawks125 to get your bets in today. So potential coaching staff changes could be coming for your Seattle Seahawks. And let me explain. Let's start with Sean Desai. We have told you that really since the season ended for the Seahawks that Sean Desai was going to be a name that was going to be in consideration for a number of defensive coordinator jobs across the National Football League, that he was highly regarded, well-respected, and that Pete Carroll has said nothing but good things about Sean Desai for the job that he's done with the Seahawks since coming over from the Chicago Bears. And Rap Sheet had a report on this over the weekend saying the Vikings and the Dolphins, both whom have vacant DC jobs, have requested to interview the Seahawks defensive assistant and associate head coach Sean Desai, according to sources. So, a couple options potentially for Sean Desai. Could be leaving Seattle, and he is not the only Seahawks assistant that could be on the move. I'll tell you who the other one here is just a second. But before we do, folks, if you're not subscribed to the channel, what on earth are you waiting for? We're covering this team each and every day with daily news and rumors. We have everything you need to know, counting up to the NFL draft. And free agency will be here in no time. We got trades and all that. We got you covered. And we got live shows every Wednesday. And our live shows are pretty entertaining, if I might say so myself. 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific every Wednesday. If you love your Seattle Seahawks, you want more Seahawks content, this is the place to be. Turn on notifications so you never miss a moment. Sub. So the other Seahawks coach who could be on the move is quarterbacks coach Dave Canales. And here's the interesting thing about Dave potentially being on the move is that he has been on Pete Carroll's staff since the very beginning, all the way back to 2010, first serving as wide receivers coach for about 7 years, and then moving up to quarterbacks coach in 2018. And you may be wondering, well, if he's been on the staff this long, why is he just now potentially coming up for a job like this? Well, when you develop Geno Smith that way, and the fact that Geno had the season that he did, you're going to catch some attention around the rest of the National Football League. Jeremy Fowler of ESPN had this to say: the Ravens requesting to speak with the Seahawks quarterback coach. And, of course, the Ravens are looking for a new offensive coordinator ever since Greg Roman got the axe. Canales is a longtime Seattle coach who worked closely with Geno Smith during his Pro Bowl year. Of course, that was this year. And I know what you're thinking. You hate to lose guys on your coaching staff, but here's what I'll say. The silver lining in all this is that these guys are getting opportunity. You wouldn't be looked at for these other jobs if you weren't doing a good job. That it shows that Pete Carroll and John Schneider and company are making good decisions at with this coaching staff when other teams are interested. Look, you can't keep everybody. That's not realistic. I know you would love to keep everybody if you could, but to me, this is a good sign as far as what they've done with this coaching staff, that the other assistants are being looked at for other jobs. To me, that's a very good thing. So tell me this before we go. With the potential of these changes on the horizon, of coaches being on the move elsewhere, what is your concern level for this offseason of losing some of these guys? Scale it for me 1 through 10 in the comments section of what your concern level is of losing some of these coaches here in the offseason. As always, you can follow me on social media, Twitter and Instagram, as well as Facebook at Tyler Jones Live, talking about your Seattle Seahawks there. And I'll see you next time right here on Seahawks Today.